Welcome everyone to a very, very special Windows stream on Friday the 25th here. I'm very excited to have two of my best buddies on the stream with me today to talk about all the new stuff in what's next with Windows. Yes, you are both my buddies, both my best friends. We've got Fletch and Lisa here on board with me today to chat about the stuff. I think you guys are equally excited about talking about Windows today. Having seen the announce, we're all very tired. We've been up watching it and thinking about what we're going to be able to do when it comes to general availability for the new Windows. So before we start, though, welcome to all of our loyal guests that join us all of the time on streams. Thank you for being here with us and sharing this special day and special announce. But while people sort of roll in, Fletch, how are you, my friend? Are you excited? What level of coffee or how many coffees are you at the moment? Is the number high?
Yeah. It's getting pretty high. I've had far too many coffees so far. And honestly, as we were watching that announce, like my levels of excitement just were steadily growing. I am next level excited now.
You're next level excited. I think I can see it in your eyes. You're just like bouncing around inside your head. That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. It's just such an exciting time and some really cool things that we're going to be able to talk about today. Jonesy, good morning, and thank you for getting up so early to do this special stream. What number coffee are you at the moment?
Honestly, 0. I am running on pure adrenaline this morning. That's how excited I am.
That's very exciting.
I'm probably going to crash and hit the wall soon, but I am running on water this morning. That's it.
That's brilliant. I mean, I probably should have taken that advice. But I've had quite a few coffees and not a lot of sleep. But that's what happens when exciting things are announced. I just cannot wait a second to be able to
Who can sleep at a time like this,
I know. Who can sleep at a time like this?
What is this sleep you speak of?
I know, right? What is this sleep that we speak of? It's not something that we always get, is it? But anyway, we'll stop talking about sleep. But what I wanted to talk about today is obviously some exciting news that we've got to share. But also, I want to know what your Windows experience has been over the past years and how many years you've been using it. So I thought it'd be really interesting to know what's the first version of Windows that you used. So I'm not going to go first. I'm going to go to Fletch. What is the first version of Windows you used, my friend?
So for me, the first version that I used was good old Windows 95, and I have so many fond memories of Windows 95. That was what we got on the old white tower family desktop with a big CRT monitor. I got to play my Army Men games on there. I got to play Reader Rabbit. We got to unbox a internet browser and install that back in the day. So I have a lot of good memories of 95, and yeah, it really, like, even now using Windows 10 today, I still can see that heritage coming through, which is very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. 95. I actually thought it was going to be a lot more late than that, but that means that you're an OG user, Fletch, that you've almost been using it longer than I have, which is scary for you. And we do have a few friends in the stream. G'day, Sam. G'day, Nathan. Hey, Jade, Dave, Arif's here. All our platinum partners are on the stream with us today, which is super cool. And there's a few people who are in the chat here, Fletch. We've got a Windows 95 from Jade, 3.1 from Dave Burness, and Arif, mate, you're with me here. I'm just going to give away the secret. Windows 2.0. Yes, I was there. Windows
Oh.
2.0. That was
Wow.
even before 3.1, which was the
Wow.
biggest thing. I know. Isn't that epic? How times have changed. How times have changed, and it's been around for such a long, long time, which is great. Andre's there. Windows 95 on a compact Presario 486, mate. You were doing well. If that was your first experience, I don't think I had a 486 till I was at high school. Oh, an ET rugby.
I can't even
so
remember
many cool.
what brand my one was.
Oh, I don't even think mine had a brand. But anyway, Jonesy, what was the first version of Windows that you used?
The first version I can remember would have to be 95 as well. That's literally the first one I can remember. So,
And where were you? Where was that? Was that at home? Was that at school?
high school. I would have to say high school because I never really had a computer at home when I was growing up. It was always, during school. Wow, that makes me sound really old. Thanks for pointing out.
That's all right. You don't worry. You haven't been using it as long as Arif and I have from Windows 2.0, which is pretty embarrassing. I don't even think it had. Correct me if I'm wrong, Arif, but I don't even think Windows had color then, or the windows were still black and white. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
That's just
Connor's on the stream. I've never even seen 95. Oh dear, we're really showing our age at the moment.
Wow, thanks for that.
Absolutely. Jeff said, yeah, I'm that old, but Windows is rock and chisel. Mate, that is literally prehistoric. I think, I don't even think Windows were around then, but thanks for sharing. That's super cool. So lots of great memories, and Windows is certainly home for all of us, especially with what's been happening in the world lately. It's not a surprise that Windows has evolved and has evolved really nicely to kind of, bring the things closer and bring the people closer to us and the things that we love closer to us at a central point. And that's really what the new Windows 11 is all about. It's completely refreshed. It's lots of simplicity, and it enables you to connect with what matters most to you. So rather than me talk about it, let's play the tape and then let's have a chat afterwards.
Let's do it.
Let's get it done. Wow.
Oh.
And
No
I don't.
word.
I have no words, and I will
AP,
have
I
some
just
words soon. But I don't have any words.
I feel like
I'm so excited about that.
I'm straining at the leash. I'm just
I
waiting for you
know.
to let us go, AP. I'm
You just
ready.
You're just waiting to talk about it. Oh, it's
Yeah.
just it's amazing. It really is amazing. I've been around for a long time, and I am probably the most excited I've ever been for an OS update. All of the things that I've wanted for a long time have come through, plus things I couldn't even dream of before have come, and I just can't wait. So it'd be really interesting for the guys. I hope you enjoyed that video if you hadn't seen it already. I know it's super early here, that's why we played it again. And I'd love to know what you're looking forward to in the chat, because there's so many different features in Windows 11 that we're going to talk about today. And just to be super clear, we're just going to have a quick chat about it today. And then on next week's stream, we're going to do a big deep dive into each of the different features, so you guys can be prepared for what's coming and be able to get customers excited about what's coming next for Windows as well too. So it's a beautifully fresh and new perspective, is what I love about Windows 11. So Windows 11 gives you access to all the apps that you need, and also it helps you maximize your productivity with a whole bunch of new tools. So that completely refreshed experience, a nice, calm user experience. It's not overwhelming. It's got all the apps that you want to be able to use, and also with some really, really cool features like snap layouts and desktops, redocking experience that we saw in the video. I'm loving all of those, but I'd be really interested. And now, Fletch, I'm going to let you off the chain first to talk about what you're most excited about. But when it comes to the new design, I know you've even started talking. It's amazing. So when it comes to the new perspective into designs and tools, what are you most excited about?
Honestly, like I would say there's. Can I do two things? AP, is that okay?
You can do whatever you like, mate. It's
Windows pretty
11
minimal
day.
for me, right?
Anything goes.
So, like, first and foremost, I think the most important thing is just the overall look and feel is super exciting. I know it just looks amazing. It looks fresh. The way that Panos was highlighting the menus coming across the screen like panes of glass, I think the whole feel of it is just really refreshing. Yep. Very like familiar. Even Windows 95, looking at that, it feels familiar, and I can make it even more similar by having the start menu icon shift to the left of the taskbar if I wanted to. I'm quite happy with where it's sitting personally. I think that's cool. But the other feature beyond just that nice familiarity in a beautiful format is the snap groups. I heard the snap groups being talked about, and I was like, I know this is cool. Wait, how is it cool to me? Why is this standing out to me? And I was like, because every time I do a report, I have like 5 Excels open, I have 2 PowerPoints open, and then I have, a browser open with multiple tabs. Having all those in one group so that I can shut them when I hop on a Teams call with you guys, or and then open them back up again, and it opens exactly how I left it. My life just got so much easier. It's something I didn't know I needed, but I need it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying before too. I was really excited. Some things that I've wanted and some things that I never even dreamed that would come across are now available in Windows, or are going to be available in Windows 11. So that's a great shout, Fletch. And something I thought was interesting too before, when you spoke about it feels like home, because Panos did that piece at the start of the announce about his home and it feeling home. And obviously that house is not the same as it was when he was a kid. It's been renovated, and that's kind of a really cool analogy. And I only just thought about that now. It still feels like home, but we've got a renovated house with all of the stuff that we need to be able to do right now and in the world that we live in now, not when the house was built, effectively. And that's a very existential explanation of what it is, but I thought it was very clever. And it is really important to feel like home. So, Jonesy, when it comes to the design and tools around Windows 11, what stood out for you?
Everything.
I'm not sure that's an answer we can take. Let me just check.
No. But again, I'm similar to Fletch in I have two things. One thing's quite broad. The personalization. You guys know, for anyone that's ever watched one of my streams, colors and personalization, that's really important to me because that makes me feel at home. So I think more with Windows 11 coming, all of the personalization, that's probably what I'm looking most forward to. But the thing that we were just saying, like Fletch was saying about the snap feature, is for me the docking. So I have a dock, currently using a second screen, and every time, sometimes, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go and, sit outside, get some fresh air. So I unplug my dock, and then when I come back in and sit down, and I dock back up, and I'm like, oh no, where was I at? And then things are not opened and things are not where they should be on the screen. But with this, my life just got so much better. I was literally thinking the other day, like, how much easier would this be if I just plugged it back in and everything was in its place? And now it is. It's like
absolutely
Microsoft. I love it.
And that was one of the things that I was saying before that I'd wanted for so long. And when I saw it, I almost froze. I was like, what? We're doing this? And I really loved the fact that Panos said that we've started doing things that we probably should have been doing this before. And we've been doing things like that, which is so, so cool. I really also love, I don't want to dwell on this, on the design too much, but having that centric start menu that's powered by AI, so you've got everything at your fingertips, no matter what device you work on. And we've sort of been doing that for a while, but I think we've absolutely nailed it this time. Having it front and center, it doesn't matter what device you're doing, you can pick up and you can start working or doing whatever you were doing on that device in a really sort of seamless kind of space. And also, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but it's kind of designed even better for touch, so it's even easier to use for touch, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So probably some questions that I imagine will be coming across is, what if I don't like the start menu there? Because we have moved the start button and menu before, and it wasn't the most popular thing that we've ever done. So for anyone wondering at home, you can move it as you have always been able to do, around to the sides of the screen, so you can have it in that space, which is super cool. So we do have some comments as well too. Dave's loving the Amazon Android store, which is super cool. Another one from Nathan around Android partnership, which is, I think, another thing that we've been looking forward to coming through. So that's really, really exciting. We'll talk about that when it comes to the when we start talking about the App Store and what's new there as well. And yes, Jade, everything is pretty, and it is. You know what? We give you a lot of stick, Jonesy, about making stuff pretty, but we're spending so much time in front of our screens these days. It does need to feel like home. And if you want to have, Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse wallpaper on your Surface laptop, then you should, because it's going to make you feel good. Sam's like, can I have it now?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm with you. Can I? I need it. Take it. Yep.
Yeah. Did you guys catch as well that you can have the different desktops personalized even? So you can have, a different feel to your work desktop to your home. Another thing that I thought was just awesome. So you can have that different pretty look depending on what you're doing.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Imagine your swagger, Jonesy, just in your own world, just switching desktops to your nighttime mood setting whilst you're doing some emails, or you're just doing some shopping online. Let's be honest. Doing some shopping online, which is super cool. Now, the other thing that stood out for me too, just going to shift gears for a bit here, guys, is Windows 11 really connects you to the people that you care about right from your desktop. You can text, you can chat, voice or video call with just a click. Now, not only is that an amazing concept, but it doesn't matter what device the other people are using. Isn't that crazy?
It's really good.
Isn't that what everyone has always wanted?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I have such a massive information stream of all of these different applications and people, I messaged you on this and I messaged you on that. was got one central location, and I don't have to have the app that the other person does that we're communicating back and forth. We can just have that experience built into Windows. And I think I'm going to be even better at communicating with people. But what do you guys think about that? That was a massive standout for me.
I think that is just crazy. I mean, I've had conversations with people about this before. Like, oh, I'm using, something completely different. I'm on a different system. I want to use this particular app to do my messaging. It's just crazy to have that now. I don't know, to be honest, it sounds, even in this day and age, like something that is relatively complicated to do. And I just appreciate that they have something that I think is absolutely necessary and something that kind of should be an expectation of technology. It should work for you rather than you going the extra mile for it. That's just great. I don't know what else to say.
Well, and another thing too, Fletch, is that I think that we've all reached for our phone. Like we've sort of been in between now. We've been so based in front of our screens all of the time. The things that it's easy for us to do that haven't been easy to do before, we've gone, okay, I'm going to grab my phone. Now we've brought the phone experience to the screen. So you don't have to pick up your phone to make a phone call. You don't have to pick up your phone to reply to a message on whatever platform that you're on. And I think that's massive as well too, because you can just get into your flow, do your thing on your device and just get stuff done. And I think that that's just going to connect everyone better too. If we're thinking a bit more philosophically about this, it's just going to make it easier for connection. And that's what it's all about. It's a really, really important thing in the world that we live in now. So having an operating system that allows us to be able to do that easily, without confusion, without frustration, is really, really important. So
and
awesome.
I think, sorry, if I can just add
you
to
can say whatever you like, Jonesy.
Like we go on about productivity, right? We want our devices to be more productive and help us. And I think that this, connecting us, we're not going to be reaching for our phones anymore, because if we need to send an important text or, call somebody or anything like that, we can do it from our work device. And if anyone's like me, sometimes I'll, get one of those important texts where I have to quickly message back, and then I find myself half an hour later still on my phone going, oh, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I'm working. What am I doing here? So I think having that, it will just make life so much easier. And I don't even know what to say. I'm so excited.
Yes, I know. It is very exciting. And you know what the kind of the icing on the cake for this feature is? Guess how much it costs, Jonesy, to have this
Look, I'm sure you're going to tell me it's a ridiculous price.
No, it's free. All you need is a Microsoft account and you can do all of that stuff.
All right. I was going to say take my money now, but you know what?
Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah. You just need to make sure that your device, Jonesy, is eligible for the upgrade. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the piece. So speaking about the phone integration and also kind of the phone concept about getting the information that you need at your fingertips, having that personalized content. And I mentioned before about staying in your flow, and it is really easy to lose focus. If you get an email or a pop-up, you're like, okay, where am I off to? Yep, we can all probably put our hands up for that. And so one of the new things that is coming in Windows 11 is the widgets. So the widgets, like you said at the beginning of the stream, Fletch, is just that lovely, beautiful pane of glass that can come in and out of your experience and keep you up to date all of the time. So you can be a little bit more organized, which I certainly need, and the content is curated for you. You get to choose what it is, and it's always just a swipe away. So you can be in the middle of a document going, oh, I was looking for that update, swip, cool, and now I'm done. So I love that concept. So my question, I think, guys, is also, I haven't talked about everything that was on there, but what do you love about it? And also, what widgets would you put in there if you had free choice? Like, what would you put in there to make your life a whole bunch easier?
I've got a funny story for this one. Well, you have a good thing, Lisa.
Well, so that's right. I've got some comments here.
Once upon a
Jade. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You go, AP. You go.
Yeah, Jade's saying, TikTok on my PC, game changer. Absolutely.
Yes, Jade.
Social networking at the same time. Absolutely. It's going to be super, super, super exciting. Anyway, I cut you off, Fletch, which is
Yeah.
my bad. So
No,
tell
all
us
good.
your funny story.
So I think back when Windows 7 was the OS, the most current version of the OS, I used to actually download this program where you could customize your desktop with a whole bunch of overlays.
Oh, right.
Just because I wanted that on my PC. I wanted to be able to, pick and choose some kind of snapshots of information and have it feed back to me. So I haven't done that, on Windows 10 or anything, but when they announced it, these widgets, it immediately made me think, this is awesome. I know there's actually a little bit of an underground kind of group of people who spend hours doing this, and now it's just part of the OS. So I'd love to have things like, for me personally, like an NFL score tracker that goes over the screen, or maybe for the Bucks who are in the NBA finals right now. I'd love to have like a WhatsApp or a Your Phone overlay as well, so I can see what messages are coming in and maybe even reply. Those are the kind of widgets that I love, and those are the kind of widgets that I use on my phone. So I just want that experience on my PC now.
Yeah, kind of makes sense. What about you, Jonesy? What do you reckon you put in the widget thing to make your life easier?
I think for me, like probably weather and traffic. I know that sounds so super boring.
What did you say?
Those
Weather
kind
and
of
Weather and
traffic.
traffic.
Well, yeah.
Because hang on, the reason is, and sport as well. Like I'd like to get sporting updates, just like Fletch. Maybe not what he was talking about, but more on like the athletics and the softball kind of side, because that's what me and my son do, athletics and softball. So having those updates, because it's personalized to me. Traffic, I need traffic updates when I need to go and take him places. So I need to see where the traffic is, and weather, because I need to dress appropriately.
Correct. That is true, Jonesy. And I think it's great that you can customize it for yourself as well. Some things that I need is calendar. A lot of the time, even though that's super boring, people say, "Are you available?" And you're like, "Yeah." Didn't check calendar because it's too far away. Or you can have some of those feeds coming in as well. And I really like the design. It's so soft, and it's just smooth. Comes in, you can read what you need to read, and then you can put it away. And also, when it comes to getting stuff done, the new Microsoft Store looks amazing, and the adoption of the apps and the entertainment built into it as well looks really, really cool. What are you guys excited about? I know we've had a lot of talk about having the Amazon Android store applications available, but what else did you like about the store announce?
Just the variety that we're going to be able to get, checked and approved in Windows. That's always been something that people have missed. The massive variety that is available on Android, I think that is going to be massive for me. I'm already a fan, as you can probably tell, of trying to port as much of what I use on my phone onto my PC, so I don't have to take it out of my pocket or check it. So having more, messaging clients like WhatsApp available is going to be great, and there's lots of other applications that I would have just used on my phone, like the NFL app or list creator apps that I've got, which I'll now use on PC instead.
Yeah, absolutely. And you should be able to do that, Fletch, too, right? Like it's having that one centralized experience. Got a few comments coming through. Meme stonks widget for Nathan. See how much money I'm losing. Also, Jade would have the world clock. That'd be cool. Keen for widgets for Destinies 2 from Chris.
I love that
Sam,
one, Chris.
Yeah,
love it, Chris.
Yeah. Sam saying, will this mean you can use the mobile version of apps on Windows rather than the Windows app if there is a Win version? Yes, you can, Sam. Sorry, I just had to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
It's been a long day and it hasn't even started yet. Sorry, Fletch, what were you going to say, mate?
I was going to say, I think we'll see a lot of developers now only having one app that goes across, and it kind of will probably scale to the device. So at the moment, it's definitely true. And I think as more and more happens, we'll just see there's one app and it just scales.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there's lots to dive deep into, and we'll get some of those answers for you, Sam, as time goes on and we get the answers for those things. But I know that we've opened up the store to make it a lot easier for people to get their stuff on there and just get things done. So super excited for that. And Craig Jackson, welcome to the stream. And I definitely do need a calendar widget on my screen. You are right. A good friend of mine for many years knows my organizational skills are probably not the best, but I think Windows 11, Craig, is going to change that for me, which is awesome. Alrighty, so gaming. Now, I'm not even going to introduce this section because Windows 11 does deliver the best way to play games across a really broad array of titles with DirectX 12 Ultimate, Direct Storage HDR, and Game Pass Ultimate. But I can see that you want to speak now, Fletch, so please fill us with the knowledge. Tell us what you thought. What are you excited about when it comes to gaming for Windows 11?
This is dangerous, AP, letting me off the hook.
Mate, one day a year.
I'm just... it's so much that I'm excited for when it comes to gaming for Windows 11. It's kind of hard for me to express it. But I think one of the key things is how there's a lot that's kind of been built into the new architecture of the Xbox Series X and S, which are now getting smartly brought over to Windows. Because obviously the consoles, they're one size, whereas Windows you can get multiple kind of scalable PCs. The fact that they have stuff like a direct storage API, so what that means for people is it's a little bit of code which kind of connects things together and tells them what to do or where to go. It just means that when you're downloading games or when you're playing games, it's going to focus on the data that's actually required to get that download happening faster or to get that game running smoother. And because it's only concentrating on what matters at the time, it then means the game is going to be way more beautiful and immersive feeling than what it did before. A really good way to kind of think about this, if that doesn't click just yet, is think of the globe. Like, if we're looking at the globe from one direction, we're only going to see, probably about a third of it. If we then change it around, we're going to see another third and another third. And what happens is this software is going to tell the games to only download that third you see. Whereas traditionally, it's going to have downloaded and created everything around the globe, and it means resources are going into things that you can't see in front of you. So hopefully that makes sense.
It does. It sounds like you designed it, to be honest. You know that amount of detail. That is,
gosh,
and for gaming, that's massive, right? Because like we said before, this is Windows 11 is here to do everything, and gaming is such a massive part of our world, and we need to be bringing those awesome experiences across.
Yeah.
So what else were you excited about with gaming? Now I've unpolitely cut you off.
Oh, Lisa's got her hand up.
Lisa's
Go, Lisa.
Lisa's very excited about gaming.
This is like the announce of the day, I think, right here. But for me, watching that announced video, that auto HDR, Fletch, and like you guys watched it as well. That side by side, and I know it's like technology and stuff that we've brought out with the Series X and S, but to bring that across the game, like PC games, is like it blew my mind. Like, be right back. I'm going to play some games on my PC. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's so good. And it was literally like one side had a smog filter on it, right? And the other was like warline.
Yeah.
It's crazy, the difference.
I can talk about it, but when you see it side by side, I was just like, oh my God, mind blown. What's happening here?
Yeah, and we've got people shouting it out for us in the chat, which I love. Nathan, you're always bringing in really good points. Cloud gaming was announced on Windows 11 as well, right? So you're able to use the Xbox Cloud, which you get as part of the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. We don't have it in New Zealand yet, which is I'm looking forward to it coming here. But Nathan's brought up a good point, how he's a little bit cautious about it. one good thing, Nathan, and the reason why Microsoft does have an advantage is because we're building servers just everywhere in the world. Servers are currently getting made in New Zealand, and I think that's going to be the missing piece we need here. But you've got data centers in Aussie already, right? And because those data centers and servers are everywhere, what that means for people is that you can have that cloud gaming in markets where it's available, like Australia, and there's going to be as little lag as possible because it's right next door. It doesn't have to travel to the US and then come back for you. So absolutely good shout.
And good shout from Sam too about the cloud gaming. You don't need to spend a huge amount of money on a gaming PC, and you can run it on the PC or the device that you've got as well too.
It really changes and makes it just so much more accessible than it's ever been before. It's crazy to think that I'm not going to need a gaming PC. I don't know. Will I still have one because I like to have one? Maybe, but I don't actually really need it anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, that's your choice. You can choose, Fletch. You can choose. And so, speaking about devices, I think what's really important too, the thing that I'm excited about with Windows 11 is that it's going to be available on the widest array of devices from all of our awesome partners with the latest innovations like InTouch, tablets, pen, and voice. And we saw some amazing stuff on the announce today when it came to touch and pen and voice. One of the things that I really loved about it was the touch experience had been expanded and developed to be smoother, to be crisper, to be more intuitive, to give you a little bit of grace when you're trying to pop your finger on the corner of a window to try and make it different size or move it around. Yes. So it's just really great stuff because we're spending so much time on that. It's a natural, fluid experience, kind of what we expect when we're using our phone. Now you can have that experience on Windows all across Windows. And I think that's really important and going to encourage people to use more of the touch functions in Windows. One of the things that really stood out to me is that I'm a big user of the mouse keyboard because A, because I'm old, B, because I am too lazy to change. But at the same time, what I have learned when it comes to touch is using the gestures on the trackpad. So one of the cool things is that the gestures have come across to the touch experience. So I don't have to relearn how to operate the system. I can do all the same sort of gestures as Brown, which I thought was amazing. I thought it was a really, really clever way to do it. And the fact that there isn't really there's no tablet mode anymore. It's just built to work as a tablet or as a laptop or however you're using the device straight out of the bat. And you get to choose across those devices and different form factors, which is what one of the best things about Windows is in general, is that you get the choice of device, but not only can you take all of these new features on. So what was one of your favorite kind of input announced features, Fletch?
Oh man, you probably stole my favorite, being able to use 3-finger swipes and 2-finger swipes. I so agree. You just got me on the edge of my seat again just talking about it. But the other thing that I love is the fact that when you auto-rotate your tablet, that the windows rotate to where they should be on the screen. That is awesome. Lisa, you're shaking your head. I mean, nodding your head.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes, 100%.
That makes me feel better because there's a massive division in my house between having auto rotation on or having it locked. My wife Steph hates using my devices because I've always got it on. I love having it on, and the fact that it's now even better than it's ever been. Yes, so good.
Yeah,
that's wicked.
I think for me, AP as well, and I know you mentioned it, and so did you, Fletch, but not having to learn new gestures is probably one of the biggest things. Like when I looked, I was like, oh no, now I have to, something else is going to fall out of my brain because I've got to put more gestures in there. But we don't need to now, and they're all going to be exactly the same as what we're using now. So for me, I was like, thank goodness we don't have to learn more.
Absolutely.
AP, Chris has a good comment there about an input feature I didn't think about.
Voice typing. He is a man after my own heart. Less work,
Yes.
more efficiency, get it done. I think I've been using voice input for emails and in the Office applications for a little while now, but having the ability to have voice typing on Windows 11 across all of the different parts of the operating system, I think is amazing, right? You can just say, do this, and without having to write it down. Or if you've got terrible handwriting like I do, oftentimes even my best effort doesn't get recognized when I'm digitally inking. So it's kind of easier for me to do that. And sometimes there is a bit of a disconnect between what you want to say and how you're going to write that. So it's a nice fluid method of being able to put that stuff in there, which is kind of cool. But it also, yes, Jonesy, sorry.
Auto punctuation as well. When you're using your voice, like it automatically, you can say, oh no, delete that. The punctuation will just automatically come, because that's one of the biggest things I find when you're using, like I've started using dictation in Word for, you know, different scripts and stuff like that. So it sounds natural, but I find that the punctuation doesn't always come across how I want it or how it should be. But that's another great one.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm just thinking, I made a video for the dictation in Word. It feels like a million years ago now, but I had to actually tell it to put a full stop and tell it to put a new line. And now, and it wasn't frustrating. It was still great. But now the AI and the power of the AI has allowed us to, you know, kind of consolidate your voice and how you speak, and it's going to be able to auto punctuate. And that's just eliminating another layer of I guess, mess that you don't need to deal with, that you can just simply send that email or send that message or whatever you like. So I think that's super cool. But Fletch, I wanted you, because I know that you'll be biting at the bit to talk about this. Yeah. You are an inker from way back. You do love inking on your device, and we have made a few changes to that pen experience with Windows 11. So do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, please. Thank you, AP. I was just about to ask if we're allowed to talk about it yet, because I saw Sam asking, and that was one of the first things I was asking in my head too. How are we going to evolve inking to make it feel better for everyone? And my favorite thing, I'm super excited about it when it comes to inking, is that haptic feedback. So anyone who doesn't know what haptic feedback it is, those little vibrations you feel in controllers while you're playing games or on your phone as you're typing things in. The pen is going to have haptic feedback enabled now. So it means when you're writing on that page, it's going to feel way more similar to writing on paper than it has before. And it'll even be able to, you know, change that feeling slightly depending on what type of writing tool you're using. I think this is going to be the key to making inking feel more comfortable for people like Lisa, right?
And me. Yeah.
Definitely.
I know you're excited.
Sensational.
I didn't like. Super excited. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Well, I think we're all so excited. We're talking over each other, which we're usually pretty good at not doing. And I think that that's one of the things that I said at the start of the stream, things that I'd never even thought of or never even dreamed of, you know, having that pen experience and making sure. And it's just, like I always say, it's going to encourage you to use it more. And there's lots of benefits for doing that, which is really, really cool. So much stuff, guys. So much stuff to talk about. Yeah. And we've done pretty good. We have been talking for a bit here, but some important things I think that we need to address for these guys is there's going to be lots of questions. So please, guys, in the chat, if you do have some questions about how do I get it, or where can I get it from, or how's that going to work? We don't know all the answers at the moment. We know some of the answers. So please pop them in the chat. And there's a lot of support to make sure that you guys and your customers can make the right choices when it comes to devices. One of the great things I think about this is that, and I'll cover this off now, to be able to upgrade to the next version of Windows 11, you do need a PC, and there are some minimum requirements. We'll talk about that in a sec. You do need a Windows PC running the latest version of Windows. So for those people who are coming into store and going to go, oh, wait. No, don't wait. Don't miss out is what we should be saying. Don't miss out. get yourself a device that's going to future-proof you. Get it now, and so you're ready for that update. And then as soon as it's available, you can get it on that machine. So really, really important that we start talking about that. And there's so many amazing devices out there at the moment for people to choose from that it's just going to be a great time to upgrade your Windows device. Now, a couple of questions in the chat. I might read these. While Jonesy, have we got any top FAQs that we need to cover for people?
Yeah, I've been going through them, AP. So I think one thing here is, what does it cost? So I know that we spoke about it just before, but how about we just reiterate, how much is it going to cost to upgrade to the new Windows?
Zero. I need a little audio bing, horn, or something like that. Zero. It's going to cost nothing to
Zero.
upgrade. But caveat for that, you do need to have the latest edition of Windows to be able to upgrade. So free is good. What other questions have we got, Jonesy?
I'm just trying to think of the best one that I really want to know here. What are so you said that we talk about the minimum requirements. So what are those minimum requirements to be able to upgrade?
Yeah, so the basic minimum requirements is that you need a 1 gigahertz processor with dual cores, which there is a lot of out there, and the minimum RAM is 4 gig and 64 gig storage. Also, it needs to be greater than a 9-inch screen and higher than 720p resolution, which a lot of devices are. That's pretty much it. So there's a lot of devices that will be available. The best thing, though, that we can do and our customers and consumers can do is that now there is a PC health check app available directly from Windows. And you can install that on your PC and it will do a check to see if you're eligible for the update with your hardware and software, and it'll tell you what you need to change or whether you need to do some updates to make sure you're ready for it and when you can install Windows 11 on launch. So that's probably the best way to do it. So kind of two ways to look at it. You can go and jump on the website and all the system requirements and advanced stuff is there, or you can just run the PC Health Check app. I downloaded it this morning. It's really easy. It's very small and it does a great job of telling you exactly sort of where you sit when it comes to upgrading to Windows 11.
Okay. Cool. So we've also had some comments come through, or questions have come through in the chat. Cortana, is it still there? Have we still got her?
No. Cortana is not part of the boot up sequence. It's not part of the sign into Windows. I'm not sure, and this is something we'll have to check, whether you can initiate it in Windows, but out of the box, no, it's not included.
Okay. The next one is, how big is the OS in gigabytes?
That is a very good question. And I think, let me just check my notes. I don't think we know.
I don't think we know it yet, right, AP? It's we've been told, I think in the announce they said that it's smaller. And in particular, updates are going to be 40% smaller. So, I think we could say under 32 gig, because that's, Windows 10 right now. But yeah, it's one of those things we just don't know yet.
Yeah, absolutely. We will put that on our notepad to find out for you guys.
Perfect.
All right. What other questions have we got coming through here?
I guess another important one, I think, that I just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
When can I get it? Can I get it now?
No, you can't get it now. It will be available later on this year. So we're going to do a whole bunch more communication around when it's going to be available, which devices it's going to be available on. First, we're going to do a deep dive into that in a stream next week. So be sure to tune in for that.
Tune in and check it out.
Tune in and check it out.
Question just come through. Where is the PC Health Check download located? Is it on the store, or is it somewhere else?
I think it's on windows.com at the moment. I only just grabbed it this morning. I'm sure that a lot of the retailer sites will have access to that as well too. Maybe not right now, but it'll definitely be available for people to use, and because that's what it's there for.
Okay. And I think one more that I really want to know as well, AP, will all of my accessories work with the new Windows, or am I going to have to purchase new accessories?
No, you're not. So if it works with Windows 10, it will work with Windows 11.
Cool.
Which is
Another
super cool.
question came through.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Maybe this is more of a Fletch question. Sorry, AP, not doubting your skills.
No, hey, that's all right.
Voice typing work in game?
So that's another one where I'm just not sure on yet. I mean, a lot of games do actually like have ways to control it with voice. I remember back in the day, even when Age of Empires 2 came out, there was a way to control it with voice, funnily enough. I just don't know if that integrates with Windows 11 yet. Too early to know.
Yeah, too early to know. But that's another one for our list of things to find out, which is cool. What other questions have we got in there, Jonesy?
I think that's it. I can't see.
that's it.
I've got one.
Have I missed
Oh,
any?
good. Yep, more questions.
I think there's one. Unless I just got distracted for a second. Is haptic feedback supported in most devices or just these surfaces? So that's in regards to the pen. Look, we still don't know exactly how it's gonna look, but I believe, I mean, it's built into Windows 11, so it's gonna be there. I believe it's actually probably going to be more down to the pen, because just like, you know, when controllers first came out with haptic feedback, you needed to get special controllers for them. That's going to be the tool that will most likely need to be upgraded.
Yeah, absolutely. And that makes sense too, right? With the new features and new availability of that kind of stuff, to have that built in. Craig Jackson's come through. I think Cortana may still be part of the user experience, but not the boot experience. And as usual, he's 100% right, and I was 100% wrong before. So thank you for clearing that up, Craig. Great to have you on the stream. And Sam's asked about Alexa Google Assistant support. I don't know whether it's going to be able to be switched in, so to replace Cortana as an experience. I do know that the Alexa app works really nicely on Windows, just as a separate application. It's not completely integrated into everything, so that'd be exciting if something came through like that, but I don't think we really know at this point in time. All right.
I think, AP, that is us.
That is us.
From the looks of it.
We've still got energy. I was building up to energy before this stream, and now I just can't seem to switch off. But it has been amazing. Thank you, everyone, for sharing this super exciting moment with us. It's great to have you all on the stream. Thank you so much for commenting and asking all of your questions. Thank you very much, Fletch and Lise, for joining me on the streams. Always fun having you guys on board. Now, what's next? So what's next for us is in a week's time, on the 1st of July, we're going to have another dedicated Windows 11 stream, but it's going to be a deep dive stream. So we're going to have some more of those answers to help you guys out. You will have some more questions, hopefully, in the interim that we can get answered for you. And we're going to spend a lot of time kind of diving each into those pillars and sort of extracting hows and whats and wheres and why when it comes to all of those different things that is available in Windows 11. So with that said, thank you for being here. And as always, for any of your Microsoft information, keep it locked to all of our social channels: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, forgotten one.
Twitter.
Help me out, guys. Twitter. And also remember to keep it locked to Expert Zone as well. Thank you again. Enjoy the launch day. Enjoy the hype. And we will talk to you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye for now.